Oh, yeah. Good.
Chair. Um, I know I said I was going to send some paperwork over, but I've decided not to because I don't want you to get caught up with the paperwork side of things.
Okay.
Um, it's more of a direct, clear seeing.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, I can still do that if you think that's going to help you, but it's more to um, recognize the truth of who you are. Once that's seen, everything makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, and I know the word practice, it's not the truth, but more the word function
Mm.
is an easier word. If it's recognizing, it's not just knowing that we are the pure consciousness, it's knowing the nature of
Mm.
who we are. At any moment, we can stop, but it's also understanding the game. It's understanding the human game and how we become identified with the game. So there's no growing into consciousness. We can't grow
Yeah.
into water cannot become any more wet. It's impossible. However, the recognition of who we are becomes predominant more than the recognition of who we are not. We are the never changing. And um, one of many ways that can be pointed to that is just to keep the eyes open and just notice breathing and just pay attention to breathing and notice that breathing's happening all by itself. No one's doing it.
Mhm.
And then realize that you're aware of breathing. You're neither personal nor impersonal. You're just aware of breathing. Remove all the spiritual language of impersonal. Stop trying to be person and just notice you are aware of breathing. And you might even notice aliveness. When we place awareness on breathing, you may also become aware of the aliveness. The aliveness is the sentient, timeless, pristine thing. But we've been told that that is Sarah, Amanda, other names. It's knowing that before we know about anything else, it's just to know that you are the awareness. And if there's a sense of contraction and scary and shaky, you're aware of it. You're aware of the characteristics of Sarah. Or they're not even the characteristics of Sarah, you're just aware. You're aware of all forms arising. There's nothing to get, nothing to learn,
Mm.
nothing to realize, nothing to gain. You're just the awareness. You're aware of the sound of this voice, you're aware of the screen, just the awareness. And it's wise to notice the pureness of awareness and check, does this have a past? Recognize the answer, there's no past. Does it have a future?
No.
Mm, it's no thing. And then it's just that simple. You can't grow into that, and that's not a practice.
Mm.
It's a recognition. It's recognizing that there's no past and no future. So then the question can arise, if there's no past and no future, what's the purpose of the character with the 3D world? What's the purpose of waking up and falling asleep? What's the purpose if there's no past and no future? There's no good and bad, no right and wrong, there's no friends, no enemies, no thing. What's the purpose? And that recognition of the empty, boundless, pristine consciousness, just by the recognition of that, the aliveness and happiness just starts to bubble, but you're still the awareness of it.
Mm.
And
Mm.
the more that we remain as the awareness, just recognizing the happiness arising, recognizing peace, recognizing what's happening there is intelligence and love, which is who we call God, is beaming it the beat the I don't know if it's a beam, but it's like above pure consciousness. It's like above that. Not that there's above and below, but positioned above it
Mm.
is intelligence and love. And that starts to filter through the pure consciousness. It just starts to filter effortlessly. There's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do to stop it or start it. Just recognizing that there's no conditioning, there's no one to fight, there is no lack. And it can be like, oh, and it's like a very effortless, alert seeing rather than attention, paying attention. It's more of an alert, effortless noticing. So that is the never changing. It never changes. Intelligence and love never, ever changes. It may change the vibration of love.
Mm.
So you may, from the pure consciousness, experience compassion, or it could be kindness. It can be joy, peace, goodness, gladness. Those different facets of the diamond of love, can be experienced. And then that intelligence and love takes over the human game.
Mm.
It takes over. But the human game starts with the human intellect, not the bodies. They're the vehicles. The human game starts with the human intellect. And I think that's the paperwork that I will deliver to you because I knew I had to, but I didn't want to just give you a worksheet for you to, to go through. So the human intellect, the human intellect has got 6 faculties, and I know I've spoken about them with you before. You've got the perception, memory, imagination, intuition, reason, and will. So for the pure consciousness that never became part of the human game, never became part of anything because it can't. It's like the space in the room doesn't become the living room, it's the walls around it, and we call it a living room.
Mm.
The actual space is not, it's not imprisoned. That consciousness that is empty, open, knows its true nature, which is being affected by intelligence and love, connects to the human game through the human intellect. So the perception is perceiving happiness, perceiving love. the memory of eternity is in every sentient being. And it's the memory of, oh God, yes, this feels like the truth. This is the truth because we know that. And we may see images of inspiration of, would you like this experience? You'd be like, oh God, that's amazing. So there's no doing. It's the intellects now functioning in service of the pure consciousness and intelligence and love, which is who we call God. And then the intuition starts to not become more predominant, but the intuition will guide the pure consciousness into the human experience with showing us that if something is contracted, it means you're falling asleep. It's a divine message. Let go of the wheel. Because we've been
Mhm.
trained, Sarah, from the minute that the body opens its eyes, the influx
Yeah.
of you're separate, you're in charge, be serious. It's never ending. And that is to wake us up. They're all divine messages, but we don't need to use that to wake up. We can use sovereignty,
Mm.
which is just something like, okay, everything's up in the air, everything's a mess. Right, let me just focus on the breath because that's the closest thing. The breath's got no past. It's not your enemy. The breath is pure. It's in the now. And by focusing on the breath, that slows everything down, the nervous system, everything, the mind, everything just. And then it's recognizing the breath is impersonal. That which is aware of the breath is impersonal. Now you've gone back to being available for intelligence and love. And this is why we sometimes get attached to practices because we think that the happiness is in the practice, but it's actually because we've let go of the game, said, right, that's it.
Mm.
Once we've done that, we're in the seat of potential and power. So we've made a conscious decision to just stop and pay attention to the breath, that which never changes. And as you become curious of the breath, you realize I, who has no past, the real I, is aware of breathing. And it takes no effort.
Mm.
And so now there's an unplugging of the subject object game because the breath is not an object. There's awareness of it. There's awareness of breath. It's a little bit of subject objects, a little bit, but then the realization, the recognition that the breath is arising in the consciousness. So that removes subject objects, and you are the field in which things arise, attributeless, the space in the room. And all of this gets revealed. These words are just flowing, they just get revealed. But it's have that anchor, not because you're practicing, but we are reducing the habitual behavior of plugging into the game.
Yeah.
So we're functioning differently. So it's not a practice. We've practiced being
Mm.
limited, and we've practiced having stories of lack and limitation, and we've practiced and we've experienced. We've said, right, that's enough. But the investment that we put in, it's like we had £1 million to start the game and we've thrown all our money in. And of course, you want your money back because it was a Ponzi scheme. But that's not how you get it. You say, right, okay, let the thief have what it wants to have. Oh, and then you realise that the £1 million that I put in the game was only a little snap of who I am. This is
Mm.
infinite wealth. I've lost
Mm.
nothing. It's the characteristics which is it makes up, when we enter the game, we take on the full game. So we take on the body mind, which is a transmitter and a receiver. So we take on the body mind. When we stop investing and identifying with um, the the subject object mode, when we just stop and we recognize that the breath is here and we're aware of the breath, and then happiness starts to arise, that happiness is because you are seated as your true nature, and intelligence and love starts to come in, inspirational thoughts come in, um, synchronicity, the right people show up, or it just becomes a dance of unity and love. And the more that we keep on experiencing that, the more that we realize that, yeah, this is who I really am. And this is how the game is supposed to be played, with intelligence and love guiding the pure consciousness through the human intellect. So that's who we are, pure consciousness, no past, no future, nothing lacking, no boundaries, and just being that which is effortless, doesn't take any effort. We can't walk ourselves there. It's just stopping everything. Um, and the breath is a good portal, just to notice that there's awareness, there's breathing. It's not personal, nor is it impersonal. It's just breathing. And it's recognizing that we are the awareness of that breathing. Awareness is the true nature of who we are. Awareness is the knower. There's a knower of the breath. The means of knowing is aware of the breath.
Mhm.
And what is known is the breath. Or you could say what is known is awareness. Whichever one is the stronger will become the known. So you've got the knower, the means of knowing, and that which is known. The knower is awareness. The means of knowing is awareness. How do I know there's breathing? Because I'm aware. That which is known, that which is known determines the experience.
Mm.
So if the breath is known, there's a limitation. But if awareness is known, there's no limitation. It's just that, the knower, the means of knowing, and the known. That's the that's the human intellect. The knower, the means of knowing, the known is the intellect. You are the attributeless, timeless being. No conditioning, just no words, no description, can't even call it awareness, just. And in that comes intelligence and love. Love starts to pour through, and like it colors the pure consciousness, but you're still the pure consciousness. It it adds love to the purity. And then what becomes available is the human intellect, the knower, the means of knowing, and the known. That becomes available. The knower it knows perception, it knows memory, it knows imagination, it knows intuition, it knows reasoning, and it knows divine will. That's the human intellect. And that human intellect can take on the shape of a limited person in the world with problems. It can it can do, it's like the ice cube. It's like the pure consciousness is water, and there's an ice cube which is pure water, but it's solidified. It's now dancing as an object, and within that ice cube is the human intellect, and it can go off and have all these experiences and report and get into trouble and release and write. It can do all those things. It's ever changing. It's happy on the morning, sad on the afternoon. It needs money. Oh no, I'm full of wealth. It does all. It's just the frequencies. It's all energy. But we've become accustomed to identifying as the ice cube. But you are the ocean and you are the ice cube. But the bigger part of you is the ocean. And when you unplug from the ice cube, now you are the conscious creator.
Mm.
You're in that space. And the minute that you look at the ice cube, you've just given the ice cube the power of happiness, love. And then the ice cube, that's the ice cube's experience.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
And so the first week, do you still do the courageousness acceptance?
Yeah,
Keep
there's so
doing it.
many downloads coming now. The
Yeah,
fast and furious all through the weekend.
yeah.
Like, oh my God, I think, do they start? There's so many, and even memories of way, way past. And there's
Good memories.
yeah, and there's like I make it fun. It's like a positive out of it. At the time, there's negative, and there's so many different downloads.
Yeah, because what's happened is when
Oh,
we unplug from the game of
yeah,
lack and limitation and we become available for intelligence and love, it can't wait. It can't wait to be kind and loving, and it just can't. It's like it can't wait. Like, yes, I've found another vessel, to another consciousness to just shoot all
yeah,
this love and
yeah,
intelligence, and it just keeps coming. It's like, oh
yeah,
God. And that causes, see, it's knowing that you're intuitive, you're knowing the different, not that you didn't know, but your intuition is, it knows contraction, and it's knowing now expansion. So you just, oh, go on then, do what you need to do.
yeah,
Just allowing intelligence and love to come into the human game,
yeah,
and look after the character Sarah.
yeah. And you mentioned I sit in silence more now, just to think, and only for 2 minutes and up again. But is it a practice? I love writing, and writing now is like I'm rediscovering myself, and I love it. I mean, Saturday, I play as well, but when you just mentioned about practice, I don't know because I made a diagram of one of your I made a little diagram and the snippets, takeaways, and I forgot about them. Yeah, I thought I'd show Amanda. Right there. Where is it? You can see.
I
Yeah.
could see,
Like a
yeah.
cup, but more. When you said about paperwork, I'm very visual and I express through writing. So I don't know, I'll just go follow your guidance because I don't, but when I do write, I come aliveness.
Yes,
There's
so that's
something
it.
in it, and I'm drawing, and that, it's like I'm rediscovering myself. And when you just mentioned practice, do I rely on it? No, because I can park it and move on. But the trust is getting so stronger now in me. And
Yes,
I've got
so
to get, no, I wanted to get the last few days. There's a shift. I'm more. I don't. Yeah, I don't
yeah,
know.
so this the passion for writing that you've
Oh,
mentioned,
I love writing more than
that's coming from intelligence and love.
yeah.
That's coming from intelligence and love.
I mean, luckily, I'm so blessed to be able. Yeah, I'm at the house for the 4 weeks now. I'm dedicated, because I enjoy it. It's a commitment. My heartbeat when your voice, boom, boom, boom. It's a Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon, boom, boom. It feels like it knows you.
Hmm.
And I get right in there, and I went over your videos because I enjoy it. It's not, oh, got to do it and not to get anything now. There's more, and I think, am I afraid of losing it? That is that feeling. So I stop and think, Sarah, what's going on here? And I'm saying, in my, yeah. And I was thinking yesterday, I was in the bath. Ego is never happy. Things are downloading at the moment. It's like a washing machine. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it is possible when I'm up at mountain tops with Jack. I used to go to the top of the mountains. Oh my gosh, play like, it's not wanted to get quickly anymore. I've come back now. The last Thursday, I was in my head last week, something, and I've shifted. There's a shift. But yeah, I'm allowing it. Ooh, yeah,
I
it's
mean,
yeah.
that going into the head, I mean, there's an awareness of that.
Oh, last week was got up in the morning. I was such a bad headache. I'm allowing this body, mind, and just intelligence. Yeah, yeah. I've been and relax.
Yeah, it's also understanding that the human body, it is a machine, it's a
Yeah,
brain.
I'm looking forward to that. You mentioned about the skeleton system last time. I'm interested to hear about all that skeleton system, how we. I think one videos you've touched on it, but I'm really interested to know about that. I don't know. I'm just
Well,
curiosity, I
it's if
suppose.
we ever have any challenges with another, I'll
Yes,
use the word.
yeah,
So if we
yeah.
ever have a challenge with another person,
Hmm.
um, see, relationships can be they are probably the most stickiest.
This is my sticky. I've noticed this morning aroused. I think, Sarah, no, no, we focus on money and lack. This is, the relationships that draw me now. I'm thinking it's taken too much. Yeah. So,
Yeah, it's the so it gets to a point where we say, okay, what is all of this? Let's just unpack. But we're not unpacking to dissolve the relationship or to fix it or change it. It's more of a review. And that becomes really easy, or it becomes joyful and effortless when we realize that we are the pure consciousness. There is no past. So there are no enemies, there are no
Mm.
friends. It's just to keep seeing that. You may have to see that 1,000 times. You may only see it once. It doesn't matter. We're all, we all function differently. But it's noticing that there is no past and there is no future. Start there from your true essence of
Mm.
unbound, unlimited, pure potential consciousness. And then it's understanding how the game works, that from there, previously, I used to practice being a limited self. So I never used to wait. I didn't realize that I was the pure consciousness. I thought I was the character Sarah, or
Mm.
I thought I was the character Amanda. So it's like an honest review that, yeah, I can actually see that's how it worked. And then it's knowing that everything is okay and everything can be constructed or it can be left alone. If you want to build a church or a temple or a school, or you want to build a college or a house, a block of flats, a masonette, you've got to start with space. You need the land. And then you go and get the bricks, the mortar, the sand, I think. And you'd have to construct separate bricks that had no form. You'd need to construct them to make them into the building, and you'd have to use
Yes.
plaster. So, yeah. And that's what we did with thoughts,
Mm.
feelings, characteristics,
Right.
which
Yeah.
is what we call the ego, which is a special me, and it's got different special me's, and then the human body. And once you see through the human body is a skeletal system
Mm.
with skeletal muscle. The human body is bones, and those bones are fused together with something called tendons and ligaments and synovial fluid, and that makes it into a joint. And that's why I can have the experience of bending the arm. And then a very quick overview that that skeletal system, it has a skull, it has internal organs, heart, lungs, kidney, pancreas. But as you're doing that, you're realizing you're not talking about a person, you're talking about a framework. You realize the heart is not a person, it's got no identity, neither do the lungs, neither do the bones. It's just a framework. The fact that I called that framework a name, that's just what I called it. But it's actually a skeletal system. And it's just the simple, not the deep human anatomy, but it's actually looking what is actually here. Skeletal system, bone, muscle, teeth. So there's awareness of a framework of a skeletal system. Because if you was to put 10 people in a room and have 10 beds, and the 10 people have all fallen asleep and you don't know them, they are different ages, nationalities, different skin color, different characteristics, different hair color, but if you put them all to sleep in a room, in a deep sleep, and you entered that room, there's no characteristics, it's just 10 bodies experiencing sleep. While those bodies are sleeping, would you actually know the accents? You wouldn't know until that body wakes up and takes on the characteristics. You've got no idea. It's just a body asleep, flesh, blood, and bone. Strangers, you don't know them. But then, if those 10 bodies woke up, then you could say something about them. You can stick labels on them now. Wow, he's German. Oh, wow. And he's widowed. Oh my God, she's Swedish.
Mhm.
Oh my God, that one's English. Oh, this one. That's when you can start naming, but without the labels, they're just 10 bodies. And what's a body? It's a skeletal system with skeletal muscle. It's got these things called joints because it's two bones meeting together with tendons, ligaments, and synovial fluid. It's got a rib cage to protect vital organs. It protects a vital organ called the heart, the lungs. Then you've got kidney, pancreas. You've got the sexual organs, whether it's a womb, and it's got muscles. It's got muscle fibers. It's got blood cells. It's got skin, nails, hair, membranes. It's just got all those things in it. That's what the body is. It's an innocent body. It's really obvious when somebody passes away, and if you attend the funeral, or if you've ever actually seen a body where the life has left.
Yeah.
Yeah, you say, oh, that was XYZ, and we still relate to the cat, but they're not there. The character's not there, and there's nothing there. There's no life there. The pure empty consciousness um, has had the experience of being of giving life to the the skeletal system. It becomes alive because you are that very life.
Yeah.
You are that life. The pure unconditioned consciousness takes on, adopts a body mind, and it becomes alive. And the whole world is telling you your characteristics based on past and future. I remember when you used to do this, you used to like that, and we're spoken to as though we are persons, which is okay because it doesn't necessarily mean it's negative. But when we realize that something's not right with this game, something's not right, we start to investigate and who am I? What am I doing here? We come to realize that we are the pure consciousness. And there is no past and there is no future. There's no good, no bad. There's nothing attributeless, the pure water. And that's who we are. And it's the very recognition of that it appears to become more predominant and bigger. But it's not, it's just that's who we are. It's like the wave starts to look at the ocean rather than looking at what's on the seafront, rather than looking at the seashells and the pebbles and the visitors that come to the seaside. The wave being caught up with the world, seeing all these things, naming all these things, hearing, it stops doing that and it says, well, actually, who am I? And it turns and says, oh, I'm the actual ocean. Look at all the waves. Oh, we're all one ocean. It's that recognition. But because the wave had a habit of
Yeah.
looking at that with it keeps forgetting it keeps and it says, I've got it, I've lost it. The wave is still part of the ocean. It hasn't lost anything, but it's the experience of ocean wave,
Yeah.
and then it starts to slow down, and then it realizes I was never a separate wave. I was a movement. I am the ocean and I am the movement. You are the pure consciousness and you are the knower, the means of knowing and the known. You are that bowl of water and you are the ice cube. There is no separation. You are that in which everything appears. At first, it's like there's a game of separation. I'm here, you're there. It's fine. It's a game. But then the design of that is to give suffering because we can only go so far with the experience of lack, limitation, and separation because we're not that. But we can only go so far, and then we say, no, 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 this isn't real. And we realize that recognition of being the ocean, and it's like, we're in that all the time. We never actually, the ocean doesn't stop being the ocean. It's just not remembering, not seeing itself. It's creating tension and looking at an ice cube and calling itself that one ice cube, just focusing on the one ice cube. It's a game. It's a game of it's a dance.
Oh.
But everything that you said about writing, I love writing, Sarah.
Yeah.
Writer. Oh God. When I say to people, oh God, I've been writing policies, they look at me and they go, but it's not the content, it's the
No.
creativity of
Yeah. It-
you're creating policies to offer staff benefits.
Oh.
And it's like, wow, I can do this for the staff. It's just so
Yeah.
oh God, it's
Yeah.
so gorgeous. And it's impersonal.
Yeah.
There's no sense of me doing it.
No.
And that's your true nature. Intelligence and love is coming through. And it's always
Yeah.
been happening. It's just that we gave so much attention to the constant, the bricks are all there, the cement's there, it's just there. But then our attention builds a massive tower, and that's the ego. It's constructed. That the ego is not a real thing. Really, what there is lots of bricks that have been pattern shaped and formed,
Yes.
but it's a real experience. And we stop looking at the bricks, but then the building can kind of be in the forefront. So we just smash it, dismantle it, and then you're like, I was this all along, looking through the brick, saying I'm
Yeah.
that. So the ego, it is a thing and it isn't a thing. It
Yeah.
is a construct. We can experience constructs of concepts. So we construct all these thoughts together that make a special me. And then when we've created a special me through the thoughts, then the frequencies, there's more thought form frequencies that match that special me, they come in. And then we've got the feelings, which is vibrations, they come in. And now, as you can see, it's becoming more dense,
Yeah.
it becomes energetic. And then the physical vehicle, it's like it becomes embodied, and there you
Yeah.
are, a
Yeah.
separate ego. Here I am with all the characteristics
Yeah.
of who I believe I am. And I'm using the word I because the knower, the means of knowing, and the known is I am.
Yeah.
I know. How do I know? Because I know I am I. But it's like corrupted. It's mixed up with thoughts, feelings,
Yeah.
vibrations. And that's why David's pointing to the impersonal I so that you can see
Yes.
the
Yes.
difference between
Yeah.
effort and
Yeah.
effortless. And once you see that, it makes
I
it.
had to watch because here now I wasn't coming through the mind to do a knot, looking coming from the mind and not through the I amness.
Say that again,
I
please.
don't make doesn't have to make sense really.
No,
Trying to realize from the mind, get the mind, but it's not the mind. You're trying to demolish the mind. It's the mind that you don't need. I'm coming through. Well, last week I was coming through the mind. The mind wanted to get. So I had to stop this morning. And the etheric body then, where does that? Yeah. Oh.
it's all it is, Sarah, is
Hmm.
it's because intelligence and love is coming through.
Hmm.
It's remember I said that if you see yourself, you are the totality.
Yes.
But if we just make it the subject, and if you see that you are the water, the fluid
Yeah.
water, you've got
Yes.
no boundaries, and you've been put in a cup,
The
the
cup.
cup,
Yeah.
and then life came along and got a
Hmm.
tablespoon of coffee and put it in the cup, and
Hmm.
you no longer look like water. You don't
Yeah.
look like water. You're not even called water now. You're called a cup of coffee. The name has changed. Everything's changed. The density, the color. There's a smell. There's a taste. So now the cup of water, the pure water, which is who you've ever been, has now had something added to it. And so it smells like coffee, tastes like coffee, looks like coffee. It is bloody coffee. The totality of coffee, the
Yeah.
totality of a separate person in the world. But then the water, which is present in the coffee, because it is present, that water has recognized I am wetness. Oh, so it doesn't matter if anything's added to me. I am wet. That's my true nature. Aware. I am
Hmm.
wet. And because the water is not paying attention and not identifying and investing in being a cup of coffee, that's the call from the kettle. So the kettle starts to pour more water into the cup of coffee. And what happens? The coffee overspills the cup. And that was your experience last week. That I'm the mind, I'm the mind. It was
Yeah.
losing its power, the water, the pure, the love and intelligence said, thank you very much, and started pouring. And so all you see, all you experience is coffee, murky water.
Yeah.
And that's why you said it was the mind, the mind, the mind's in. It was just the dance. It was just the falling away of the false chips away of the false me, because we took ourselves to be coffee, so the coffee was leaving just before. We are the effortless being and we can't grow into it, but there is the changing realm.
Mhm.
Being that does not change the human experience. Recognizing that you are the consciousness doesn't automatically change the human experience.
Mhm.
There are some beings that recognize the consciousness and really see it, and the arising of happiness.
Mhm.
Um, but it's not even changing the game, it's understanding the nature of the game, understanding that yes, we are the pure consciousness, but there's also the intellect, which is the knower, the means of
Yeah.
knowing unknown. And that's not just going to fall away. In fact, that knower, means of knowing unknown, becomes of service to
Yes.
the pure consciousness.
Yeah.
It is.
That.
It's the
Yeah.
water and the ice. You are
Yeah.
both. The ice is the
Yeah.
knower, means of
Yeah.
knowing, and that ice then melts, but it's still got it's still got
Yeah.
its little bit of flavor, but it's like a little. It's just gorgeous, and that's the dance.
That's where the fire in me is like, the foundation. It's like a broken leg. I thought I'd run a marathon and it's not worked, and I've hurt myself. So I've gone back to healing, and everything's changing. Even everything in my life. Oh, my life, that characteristic. Yeah, the like it's yeah, it's but the fire. I think that's why I was drawn to consecration because there's fire in me, an honor in me to be true. I feel like an honor again. Oh my gosh, there's something I don't know. I'm meant to know. There's something I don't know. There's a feeling of excitement, and then there's a feeling of. He said there's both playing out here. There's because I know the feelings of pain, the suffering, which I have all many years, and now, yes, I'm getting used to both of them now and being neutral with them.
That's right, it's neutrality. Because if
Just
we have a
because, yeah,
if we compare, if we compare good and
it's
bad,
happening,
and
yeah,
we say I prefer good,
yeah,
you're in the game.
yeah,
You're in the game. So it's
yeah,
to neutralize and say there is no good and no bad.
mm,
And when you're there, you can then choose. So you're not comparing. So when you say, I think this is where the self inquiry is so really powerful. Is there suffering? Are there any problems? Any good or bad? You do that. Is there anything, can anything be compared to this? Are there any preferences?
yeah,
You realize that you are the pure blank piece of blank sheet. From there, you from there, if you want to play the game, you pick up the intellect and you
yeah,
use divine will. That's what you call real choice. You say, okay, there's an awareness of happiness, there's an awareness of sadness. I choose happiness.
yeah,
Thank you, no, thank you, sadness. And then you can have some tools, Sarah, because I use
yeah,
tools. If sadness comes, I say, hold on a minute, I'll stop.
yeah,
I used to stop and say, can this be sad? No. So there's an arising of sadness. Now, this arising of sadness, the old tendency would have been to resist it, want to control it,
yeah,
feel controlled by it, disapprove of it, want security. But then when it's seen as, oh, a divine messenger, you'll say, what?
yeah,
You go into review, you say, what would I have done?
yeah,
Ah, I would have believed. I would have become a believer. I would have took the shape of a believer and believed that this thing is trying to control the me. And so the me, you just review. You're reviewing the
yeah,
potential of ego showing up. You're just reviewing it, and you're like, oh, by the time you've done that,
yeah,
oh boy, and if that's your bliss, because it's the bliss here to actually examine, pick it up, and say, what is this?
yeah,
Out of curiosity.
yeah,
It's like getting a butterfly and saying,
yeah. There's a
why is that wing
curiosity.
like that? It's you see, we get all of these thoughts. We get delivered 60,000 thoughts a day. Most of them can be negative,
Mm,
but not all of them. We use thoughts to log on to Zoom. It was like, yeah, Sarah, 9 o'clock. That thought
yeah,
was harmless.
yeah, yeah,
It's a harmless thought. Um, the thought to go for a walk. It's a thought. It doesn't mean I have to run after it. There's a thought of going for a walk, getting some fresh air. Yeah, that's an available option. So you then start to, this is where I say the mental body calms down. It starts to stop delivering thoughts of lack,
yeah.
limitation, fear. It stops.
Yeah, what's nice that what's stopping now is more the got to, like a heavy masculine feminine, a mixture, a lot of reviews. But your card at the moment, the gratitude, I'm really listening to that card because I feel like I've not been grateful for everything I had in life. And then the
Funny,
spiritual side, sorry.
funny. I was going to, because I'd forgotten that you'd bought, I
Oh,
forgot you'd bought the talking cards, and what I was
oh,
going
I
to,
love, yeah, and there's two I'm read, yeah.
I done a talking cards program. Did I send you the
You
program?
have done, oh no, 2 minutes. You have. You
I have
have
studied
actually, you have, yeah.
33 teachings.
I think you have actually, yeah, because
It would have come on a PDF and it would have said talking cards and
it's an hour. It's an hour, isn't it?
no.
Oh, oh no.
I'll have to go back and have a look.
Yeah.
But with the talking cards, Sarah, you know what you can do? Did I put them into sections?
Yeah, when I click into them, there's little dots and I click into them like that way. It's one of
Have
the end.
you have you had the PDF that shows you the talking cards that deal with negative thoughts,
No,
talking cards that deal with emotions, the talking cards that deal
no.
with false self-image and relationships? Okay, I'll get that over
Oh, that'd
to
be
you.
lovely. Thank you. Yes,
So
self-image is strong here because it goes with my body image, isn't it, really? But that's flourishing now, you know.
yeah, it all.
And I've got a pack, although it's spiritual, having it I've had to spark the unworthy program. Yes, I am worthy. It's not I just Sarah, I can. And they're still dragging me back. Yeah, but Sarah, you deserve there's this push and pull, but I'm more I can achieve greatness,
But
you know.
it's actually recognizing that that is the character, Sarah.
Yes, it is. It is. Yeah,
It's the ice cube,
it
and
is.
if the ice cube, I would say every morning. So it, like I said, it's not a
Okay.
practice. When
Yeah.
the ice cube cannot practice to be water,
No,
it
no.
can't, but it can function as
As
water. It
okay.
no longer functions as a solid, rigid ice cube. It's now turning, repent, and it's functioning as water.
Yeah.
Colette did I don't know how long ago, Colette did a very short video. I know it was in the winter because I remember she was outside. I'm going to have a look for that video
Oh,
on YouTube. And it, I don't know, it could be 15 seconds, you know, the
yeah.
shorts that we do. And she's actually saying, look that way. Well, she's got a couple of videos. She's going, look that way. Sarah, I'm going to send that to you because Colette points to the heart. Colette, I've always been the one that will smash that mind. I've always been the one that will go in the mind, fully
Yeah.
go in, look at it, pull it, smash it, dance with it. Whereas Colette sees things from the chest area,
Yes,
uh,
yes.
the
Yeah.
heart, and that's Colette's guidance. Come to the heart,
Yeah.
come to the heart. Now
Yeah.
I say, don't go to the heart or the head. Just be attributeless. Now
Yeah.
pick up that mind and smash it. That's
Yeah.
what I do. So we complement each other because one is focusing on dismantling the programs and the other one is pulling into love into the heart.
Yeah.
If Colette's voice resonates with you, because it's very calm, her voice is very, very calm.
Yeah.
And because it's only uh, I don't know, 15 seconds or 30 seconds short, if you fall asleep to that, if you put that on repeat,
Oh.
when you wake up tomorrow, you'll be in the heart. You'll be looking that way.
Oh.
You'll be.
Yeah.
I'm telling you,
Oh.
if you played that for like 8 hours sleep, Colette's voice saying, look that way, look, I guarantee, Sarah, when you wake up, you won't know who Sarah is. You'll understand the pure consciousness,
Oh.
honestly. So I'll send you the video.
Yeah. I resonate both. I mean, I've really bypassed the foundation. And now we're going back to, direct experience. But when your teaching resonates, my heartbeat goes, oh my gosh, the fire here now. Oh, but I've done it from a silly, yeah, the other way, yeah. Something
Yes,
exciting is going to happen here. I don't
yeah,
know. I feel like Rona Byrne. Yeah, I've spent many a lot of stuff, but thinking I can see now from a different, it's from, yeah, but I'm ready. Oh, but calm, so oh my God.
yeah. Some beings are taken on the progressive path
Yeah,
first, and then it's the seeing of the true nature.
yeah.
And some beings just see their true nature. A bit like Eckhart Tolle, he wasn't on a progressive path. He was
Um,
quite the opposite direction,
yeah,
and all of a sudden everything's fallen away, and he couldn't function from there. That's why he ended up homeless. He
yes,
didn't have the progression
yeah,
how to function, correctly in the 3D world. So it doesn't really matter, but
this is where trust comes from me. 'Cause I'm a bit still afraid, but then, direct knowing who I really am, and that will shine through with finance and everything, really.
Well,
Oh,
the ice cube is going to have shaky programs because
yes.
it is a separate object.
Mm,
By default, it's designed. The ice cube is designed to be a separate object.
mm,
But as the consciousness which has adopted the ice cube, which is the ocean, uses the ice cube as a tool to look at itself, it's
yeah.
called repent. It
Yes.
notices I am the ocean and the ice cube is appearing in me, not separate from, not the subject. The subject object, it just naturally falls. So
Yeah.
when you start to function from your truth, the
Yes.
truth gets revealed. You don't have to do
No.
anything, there's no
No.
doing, no effort.
No.
Just be who and what you are. And by being who and what you are, everything falls into place. There's no practicing, but there is a function. There is a function.
Mm,
And you are the ocean and you function. I say function, it's not a doing, it just is. Water, when you turn the tap, water gushes out because that's the function of water coming through a tap.
yes.
If you get water and place it in a saucepan and put heat under it, the function is to boil, and that's the function. So it's not a doing, it's just water functioning
Yeah.
rather than just being dead, flat.
Yeah. Yeah.
It moves, but its true nature is
Yeah.
transparent and still. Water
Yeah.
is still, but you can
Yeah.
make it move. So
Yeah.
it's like it's not really a paradox. It's really
Mm,
clear that unchanging,
yeah.
changing,
Yeah.
work together, everything's okay.
What,
Love, loves
what
the
free,
unity.
what's freedom is we are the creators, aren't
Yes,
we?
of course we are.
And
And
that's freedom, that's to choose. And
yeah,
that's been,
you
God,
wanted conscious creativity.
yeah,
You
many
thought,
years I've been in a prison and
yes,
allowing summer language here now. I've had to, loads of people, I've lived other people's lives.
yes,
Oh,
all
you
of
can't. That range I wanted. Oh, it's to be. And that was my life. That was my life.
yeah, it's
And I
all of
can't, and it stopped because, yeah,
well, it wasn't yours. It was the what we did was we stuck the ego mask on and
yeah,
we
they
stuck the
meant well.
construct on. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. It's the experience. So you've had real experiences. That's
Oh,
what I'm gonna
gosh.
say.
The
You've
book
had
needs to come
real
out. I mean,
experiences.
oh no, oh gosh, it's
You've had
embarrassing.
you've had real experiences, Poppy. Real experiences.
Awful.
No, they're not awful.
No,
They're
no, for I'm
experiences.
compassionate here now, and there's a positive that came out of each one of them. When I stop and think of that, I think it's like, thank you, Divine Messenger, and there's a positive that came out of it. Um, I wouldn't self-realize, I wouldn't want financial freedom. There's positives that came out of it every time
Everything.
I stop and analyze, Yeah. And I'm very grateful of the time and space to able to do this at the moment and risking, but then there's not. I'm just allowing. And small creations have happened, Amanda. Um, there's a sofa here we need to, and it's sold for 20, things that just happen, it's small little things. I sold it for £20 on Marketplace. I'm like, oh. Things, little small things, and I didn't appreciate the small things before. I think the universe is showing this body mind here. Actually, the small things you appreciate first, Sarah, and I didn't.
It's so it's just that we
Oh,
just get
amazing.
blindsided, we get
Yes,
distracted. We are the consciousness, and that's just we can have the experience of being
yes, yes,
blindsided.
yeah.
It's not who we are, but they're definitely experiences, and
Mm,
it's just seeing through that, and knowing that really and truly everything is love.
yeah,
Everything is love.
yeah. And it's relaxing, and
Mm.
I can force it, but I can, yeah, it'll all come, it'll all fall into place, especially this cut. But it's things are, oh.
Well, you don't want to buy a piece of steak and swallow it in one go. You
No, no.
take your time with a meal. Yeah.
Yes.
But just before we go, coming back
Yes.
to the talking cards then, Sarah, because I had this
Oh,
thought before you even, you mentioned it. Um, it's a very powerful tool to use alongside chapter 3 of the Sedona method,
Oh, okay.
but not go into the ag flap. Go straight to courageousness,
Yeah,
acceptance, and
yes,
peace.
yes.
What I would do with the talking cards is I would use them over 33 weeks. Well, 32 weeks, because the one card is that, oh, that's what I did. I gave you the master. I gave you the hour teaching. That's why you said an hour. I
Yeah, I
sent
did
you the,
that.
yeah, the
Yeah.
hour teaching called Healing the Heart.
Yeah, I listened
Yes,
to In the Hat and
yes,
Gratitude. They're the two ones.
yes,
All of them brilliant. And I
yes,
listen
Healing
to
the Heart.
every morning I do after my walk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what I will do then is you've got the Healing the Heart. That's what
Mm.
came with the talking cards. Then
Yes, that's it. Healing the Heart. Yes, I
yeah,
got that.
then I will give you, and I have got it, I will give you the sections that there's 4 sections within the
Okay.
talking cards. Like I
Yes.
said, the thoughts, the feelings, the way that we see ourselves, the false me, and relationships, how we
Oh, that.
relate to money, people, it's pure relationships. And I've sectioned the cards to say, if you listen to these cards, if you do one card a week, just keep,
Okay.
because it's
Yeah.
only 3 minutes, you can listen to it
Yeah.
3, 4 times. You can let it play 3, 4 times a
Yes.
day.
Yes.
If that's how you're integrating now
Yeah.
the mind to become sound and clean and pure and a
Yeah, it
brilliant
is. It
service. Yeah,
is. It's
that's what
work.
happens. It works.
It's
Yeah.
working Sunday morning. I don't
Mhm.
feel like I used to feel anymore. That that
Yeah.
dirty,
Oh,
like that feeling inside, that hurt.
mm,
It's actually dispersing.
yeah.
And I'm like, oh my gosh. Yeah, and these cards, they're only 3 minutes, aren't they? And after I
Yeah.
sit down, I sit, have the walk, and I
So
listen to it.
if you play one,
Yes,
you just stick with that card for a week. So you'll
yes, I
probably
will.
hear it 21 times if you do
I
it three
will.
times a day.
Okay.
And every time, so if you have a little function, a flow, an inspiration, to listen to the card and then how does this card make me feel and go
Yeah,
through the courageous words. Now you're giving it a double whammy.
yeah,
That's magic.
yeah.
It's magic. And I'm telling you, I don't want to tell you what it does, but it is magic.
Oh,
Very, very
brilliant.
magical in the positive
Oh,
direction.
but the gratitude and healing the heart, the gratitude sticks to me 'cause I want to practice, I feel like the practice it, yeah. So I thought gratitude, yeah, I'm gonna listen to that. Oh, that'd be amazing.
I'll send you that over
Just the
today.
feelings. And now I know what feelings are because I didn't know what they were last
Yeah.
20 years, but now,
Yes. Yeah.
yeah.
You've said, yeah.
Oh,
Okay
thank
then,
you so
Sarah.
much. Thank
Well, I will
you.
see you tomorrow at 9. If you get you've recording this, aren't you?
Yes.
I might upload this to YouTube if that's okay with you, but if not, let me know and I won't do it. If you don't want me to.
I don't mind if it
You
helps
sure you don't
you. Yeah.
mind? I can switch all comments off. Not that I think anybody's going to comment, but I think if this can help somebody to see through
Yeah.
the game,
Yeah.
because I do receive emails from people that say, Amanda, I saw a video and
Oh, I
received
love
a
that.
gorgeous email of somebody that sent me a question and I'd done a response. And he got back and said, Amanda, I'm free.
Oh, I
He said,
love
I'm sending
that.
this email out
Yeah.
to everybody whose videos I've watched. And I know he would have sent one to
Yeah.
David and
Yeah.
Colette because I know, and it was just like, oh my God, this is
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's just so beautiful to know
Yeah.
that people are realizing who they are, the truth of who we are, and just knowing that, my God, what have I been doing for the past 50 years? Now
Yeah.
it's time to live.
Yeah.
It's just like
It's,
turning the wheel, isn't it?
listen, it's is it because I know I can, see it's integration, this is.
Yes, it's integration.
This
It's
is, and
yeah,
then you fall away and about, whoa,
it's
Amanda.
it's it's the water being poured into the cup.
Yes, it's
The
his.
coffee's leaving, yeah, and as it's
And
leaving, we're seeing it, and it looks worse
yeah,
because we're not just seeing it
no,
inside the cup, we're seeing it, and we're like,
yeah,
oh, it's getting worse, it's getting, but just have faith that, well, whether you've got faith or not, that
yeah.
water's
I
coming
can hear
in.
your voice, because if I cry, which this weekend is, which is fine, I've let it go. That was yesterday. Hot water, and I think that's yeah, and yeah, I'm
Yeah.
gonna stop this. It makes